A lot of teams go here over the course of the group stage, and well, we're seeing it once again inside of the best of threes. There was that big debate that a lot of players were saying, oh, it's a best of one, nobody plays console inside of a best of three. Well, burst the bubble. What are we seeing? A consulate pick. Well, it wasn't a pick, but it's left open anyway.
A map that both teams are happy to play on.
Yes,
Typically,
yes.
The decider is that such a map. It makes sense, you know, if it's a map we see inside a best of ones, it's likely going to be the map that you see as the decider inside of a best of three. Both teams happy to go here. Thatcher and Nomad being removed. BDS coming back with the Wamai ban. There's so many important and crucial zones here on Consulate that you can imagine NIP would want to deploy that same setup, the classic ADSs, shield, Wamai disc, you name it, you know, top of yellow stairs, etc.
So, BDS did not play Consulate during the group stages. They stayed away from this map. They did not play it. Now it's coming out. We have seen NIP play it. They played it against TSM, I think it was 7-2. So a very dominant performance from TSM against NIP on this map. I wonder how much information NIP have on BDS on this map. The last time we seen them play it was against, I think it was Virtus Pro back in EUL, Stage 1, and they lost that 7-2. So the last time either side had played Consulate, it was a loss.
Well, for one of the teams, they're going to have to win it today now, because we do not have anything left after this map for these.
It's not a best of five? Are you sure?
It's not unlimited overtime. It is said and done over in the here and now on Consulate. And we're going to be heading right on in there. NIP starting off on the defense. They're going to choose to go to Garage first. Looking to get this site locked off. Now, Garage is a site that we either see a lot of or we do not see at all. With Cade being open, it lays claim to the fact that Garage is potentially a little bit more defendable, as we do have the ability to, you know, Electroclaw the triple Garage wall. There's the ability then to play in upstairs as well. And that's something that NIP are going to do both of. Pino going to be playing upstairs inside a bathroom. Julio going to be playing down inside of Garage. Now, that Electroclaw is very interesting. We saw the electrical there get placed underneath on the roof of the Garage, and it's actually enough to get the hatch inside a bathroom. Two things intrigue me about that. One, I really like the placement. Two, typically you play with that hatch soft so that the mute can shotgun it open and drop down if required. Now that tells me that Pino's playing there with his life.
Yeah, we see usually a heavy roam presence for a lot of teams, especially for the Garage. You cannot afford to give up early control of the piano. Piano is everything for attackers. If you have control of that, you can utilize the verticality that you have at your disposal. For this certain set of operators, it would be the sledge we're looking for to get in, use the sledgehammer, open up as many angles as you can. As soon as that piano control falls in favor of attackers, you need to clear out a Garage quick. There is no safe position you can sit in that you will not get picked off from. So, yeah, definitely for NIP, their whole plan is defend that piano. Do not give BDS any map control. BDS, they've already opened up the main breach, and one thing that could happen is potential BDS rush. We see that a few times, I think, for the Garage, is teams will just walk in.
Quite possibly. Time continuing to tick, and with the players stacked up outside of Garage, it looks like that could be an increasing likelihood. We've got quite a lot to get through, though. Kamikaze in a really good position to toss out some Toxic Babe canisters. Pressure that's coming on in is kind of slight. There's nothing really from BDS. They're not giving the game away all too much. Just going to be droning out and trying to gain as much intel as you can. You can see the drones moving underneath the white van. They're going to be searching out for any pieces of utility. We're going to get the other side of the Garage wall opened as well. Pino's actually got a nice vertical angle here that he might be able to take advantage of. Lems is going to be inside of Piano, looking to open up that floor and cut off any defenders from being able to be in a position to try and deny the plant. Bride is going to go for the plant, but he's in fact going to get down straight away. The Toxic Babe canister and Julio coming in there to shut him down. There's going to be a phone call ringing on out, so all the defenders are going to be alerted, but Shaiko pushes his way all the way on through. Can he win the gunfight? No, does get taken out. Renchiro's grabbed the diffuser, but it's not going to be enough. Kamikaze able to find two as he shuts two players down on yellow stairs. Lems from above in the 1 versus 3 takes down Pino, but a Toxic Babe canister is going to cut him off. He still has 30 seconds to work with. The diffuser cold at the front of White Van. How much information has Alems got in this moment? He is going to be able to recover the diffuser and look to push on through a little bit more aggressively. Feels like he's getting spotted out there as he's looking up and seeing if there is any pieces of utility. Julio with the final swing as Alems inevitably meets his end. NIP, a great defense there of Garage.
Great start for NIP. BDS grasping at straws perhaps a little bit. Don't know if I agree with immediately looking to go for the plant. On that bomb site, if you have a smoke sat in pipes in that position with the shield, you're not planting. The smoke canister goes out. BDS could not get off the plant quick enough. It feeds that information. Like, keep in mind, that deployable shield in that position, of course it's there to protect the smoke, but it is also there to give out information. He's able to count how many people run in, and you can feed that information back to your side. Just overall, I don't think that was the greatest attempt from BDS. I think they can do a lot better. I wonder if Shaiko was able to pick up the kill onto the smoke. Would that have changed the round? Potentially. No one knows. But for the here and now, NIP holding it down, round 1 in their favor.
Being able to pick up an early defense here on Consulate is good as well, as it's a map that has opportunity for the attack. You know, if that plant goes down and you've got such a man count advantage, it can, you know, it doesn't matter how many defenders you've got, you can really easily keep hold of that from outside. And that plant spot that BDS was going for, the default in front of White Van, is very easy to hold from the outside. The problem is, Demo, as you rightly say, it is very predictable. And NIP were more than ready to deal with that. Gives them a nice early start here.
Right, NIP on the top floor, and one operator that has managed to sneak past the banning phase is Valkyrie. I cannot remember the last time I seen Valkyrie up on Consulate. She is terrifying. So, if you don't know why Valkyrie is so strong, if you look at the shape of the building, it is a rectangle. So that means if you put one Valkyrie camera on one corner of the map, you cover 2 sides. The information you can gain from outside cameras is incredible, and that's why she has such a high ban rate on Consulate.
Pino already showcasing those cameras and showing us what he has got. Oh, he doesn't know how close he is there.
Windows, I think.
Just prepping to see if there's anything that he can maybe run out and jump out on at a later time. Shaiko going to get rid of the Banshee on the desk, but the Clash is going to cause him some problems. Kamikaze playing on the Clash. 2 pests on the window as well, so any drones that get tossed on in are immediately going to get captured and removed. Still plenty of drone work going on from BDS as they don't really want to commit just yet.
Shaiko up against the Clash, and I think the Clash pick for NIP, in hindsight, I think it's a good pick because it gives information, which is something that has definitely taken NIP by storm, is their information gathering, and that Valkyrie camera to give the kill is definitely one that they needed. Alems has fully yellow control, though. That has been an area that has been left untouched by NIP, and Alems instead of bathroom now. This is something that we do not see every day, is immediate control off that yellow stairs. Give it over, and even Shaiko finds the kill on the Kamikaze via the stuns that have been dished out by Renshiro.
Kamikaze getting cut down there as he got forced and pushed into the corner. And with Alems having so much control of yellow, he's able to get some good chip damage onto a lot of these defenders.
He could easily plant.
Bit of a rotation is required here from NIP. We've still got Psycho playing inside of Cubby. There's going to be a run out there attempted, but Renshiro going to shut down Julio. The Psycho will find the frag over onto Alems. That now alleviates a lot of the pressure that was coming in, and Psycho can look to try and take out players that are coming in on the rappel. Finds one, but does inevitably get downed there by Shaiko. The diffuser going to be beneath Shaiko. He could choose to try and recover that now, but Pino has instead got other ideas. He's going to be on the flank, making his way up these yellow stairs. He knows that there's a player about to hop on in. Pre-fires exchange from both sides. As we're locked into an equal 2 versus 2, Pino with a confident swing there, as he still has plenty of information, but Shaiko's been allowed to make his way to long desk. He's now inside a bathroom. He's showing up here, but Pino shuts him down. It's now a 1 versus 1. Pino versus Renshiro. Red ping as to the location of Renshiro's whereabouts. All is necessary is a pre-fire, but Renshiro's better. Swings and flicks, finds the headshot onto Pino.
How has he pulled off that kill there? Not even looking at him, then just the quick little transition. Wow, and that was very important. Shaiko, as well as he did, he forgot the diffuser. He did not grab it. It was outside from previously, and from the previous swinging that they went for. Yeah, I don't know. BDS were very lucky to pull off that round win. It was a great execute, albeit onto the clash. I think that was a great highlight for them, and that was what we missed. Julio. Question marks.
There is question marks on that, especially with how much information there was available outside. Why Julio is going for a look. You know, you don't really want to get caught going for a look here. If you're going to jump out, it needs to be pretty much guaranteed that you're going to be able to gain that frag. Shaiko did a magical job there of getting himself in, alongside Alems as well. I know that Alems got taken out, but the information that Alems gathered and the fact that nobody from the side of NIP then retook that bathroom or yellow stairs area, it just gave Shaiko so much room to play with.
Yeah, I was surprised the lack of yellow stairs control. I think that was definitely a big thing that we're not used to seeing. I think yellow stairs is everything. We see smokes, mutes, ADSs, of course, usually being placed up, but there was nothing there. It was easy control, probably the easiest yellow stairs take I've ever seen in my life.
Take your pick. Dock, smoke, clash. You know, whatever you want to try and throw at that, you are able to. Now, is it a question that because BDS banned Wamai, NIP aren't as comfortable in their yellow stairs hold because they've only going to have ADSs to play with, they're going to have maybe some laser gates that they can put up, but ultimately they're not going to have all too much and it's quite easily burnt through. Perhaps. But I don't think you can afford to just give up that and bathroom control in its entirety like they did. We are just experiencing a short rehost here as the players are going to make their way back on into the lobby. So far, good opening round from NIP. Great response from BDS. They need to come out strong inside of this one because I feel like the momentum is in the hands of NIP at the moment.
It would be interesting to see if they choose to go upstairs again. Because there is other bomb sites. We see Lobby a lot. I think Split Bomb Site has really came into its own. I see a lot of teams play that now. A really nice site for defenders. But in terms of the top floor, the attack that BDS went for was your standard run-of-the-mill office take. Moving towards office, yellow stairs is a difficult thing. Really, you're only attacking that top floor two ways. You either go from yellow and in towards office, or you go from admin. That's the two ways you attack it. There's nothing else that you can really do. Differences between both takes is usually getting set up in a position to take yellow stairs is extremely difficult for attackers. Whereas if you look at admin, very easy to take control of. So you kind of afford, like it's a difficult setup for the console, but an easier setup for admin, and a much more easier plant for office compared to a much more difficult plant for meeting. Pros and cons to both.
BDS just giving us a really good CO side take, so I imagine that they're going to mix things up next time. Maybe they go and do a little bit of admin and really keep NIP guessing. I think had NIP known that that was the take that they were going to go for, you maybe think twice about the Clash pick. I feel like Clash has a bit more value inside of that admin area. You know, sure, there's a lot of crossfires and stuff there, but you can just harass and you can just make it so that it's not as easy to push on through. Yeah,
like you said, crossfires, there's a lot of them in Consulate, and I think that's kind of where Clash can get left out. Where there is so many different angles you have to watch out for, it's a bit difficult if you only have a 180-degree area that you can protect yourself from.
We are seeing a switch up here. Preston Lobby going to be the chosen site. I
think that's the right call.
Does Julio stick the alibi?
No. He six picks it.
You got it right.
I've seen him six pick it before, yeah.
Oh, you joking.
I cheated!
Well, we aren't going to see any alibi this round, but what we are going to see is a Mute and Mozzie combo. Recognizing just how well BDS drone and gather that information and see holes in the defense. NIP are going, we don't really want to be dealing with that. We're going to try and eat up as much as possible. They did bring the Mute Mozzie in the last round as well, but it didn't have as much of an impact.
Yeah, top floor, there isn't too much roam presence. Only thing you'd ever roam for is if you want to have downstairs control for C4s. I think for this site in particular, you need to try and hold above. Again, same thing as what I said about the garage, is you have to have upstairs. There's so much verticality on Consulate, so much wooden flooring. That kind of stays true as well to Piano, which has kind of been like the area that a lot of teams are actually going for these days, rather than the classic plant at the double door inside of Circle Desk. A lot of teams are actually using the repels and pressuring towards Piano. If you can hold above with some angles and clear it out with the sledge, it can be a great position. We see a lot of teams actually go in for the plant, keep one guy above, sledge above the diffuser, and there is no chance a defender is retaking that.
BDS going to look to try and make their way on through. Top floor control is crucial here. Pino once again with his cameras outside, able to Just ping out any intel that he finds. Rafal's responded this time. Another adaptation that we've seen from BDS is they've gone, these Valkyrie cameras are getting played every single round. We need to find them. Rafal has picked IQ and is going to be able to search those out on IQ's scanner. It does eat up a little bit of time, and you do have to get within range to be able to find those cameras, and some of the cameras can be thrown quite a good distance away from the building, so it can be a case of, you know, almost doing laps, but I think Pino is going to just discover that one of them has been removed as he tries to jump on into it.
BDS have their foot in the door in terms of what they want to take control of. That will be the top floor. Yellow is a great way to kind of cut off a lot of angles, and Julio times the C4 to perfection, and Shaiko is gone. Big player off the boards, and that really gets NIP into a great position. Without that main entry of Shaiko for BDS, they're going to lack a lot of the top floor pressure. Right now, they would have had two men just pushing in. It would have been Alams and Shaiko. Alams, again, would have been here using the sledge, and then Shaiko would have been in a little bit deeper trying to cover him. Just stop anyone from pushing, Alams, should I say. So, yeah, I think losing that player, it's really going to cost them, and now that means that Bride has to come above.
It puts more pressure on the roam game clear, and it certainly puts more pressure on Renshiro's lifeline as well. You know, you lose out on the breaching rounds. You're not able to deal with things as effectively. Julio there with the almost one pump onto Alems. It just required a second to finish him off. 2 kills there going in favor of NIP. Pino going to be playing upstairs in copy as well. Not sure if Rafal knows this, as Rafal is actually going to be on Spiral. Pino going to choose his time to strike quite wisely here, as Julio's putting some shots in on the reverse vertical, but eventually will get taken down as 2 quick kills come in here from BDS. This is crucial stuff. Muzi down in the site as well. Puts a lot of pressure onto Psycho and Kamikaze now, as Rafal can look to progress down this spiral staircase. Just looking to hold angles as he goes. Psycho maybe going to go for a bit of a retake of the top floor here. Breedy going to try and get the diffuser down. How much intel does Renshiro have? He's conscious that he's trying to cover the plant, but he knows that he's also getting pushed as well. Renshiro with the finishing kill over onto Psycho. He's going to leave Kamikaze in the 1 versus 3. He knows where the diffuser's down, but the SMG isn't too kind at those kind of ranges. Breedy plants the kill, will secure the round for BDS.
Oh, I liked what NIP were doing to try and pull it back, but no, just was not enough. The timing for Renshiro on that lifeline was impeccable. You could not want a better lifeline in that scenario. It gives him the information, it kind of backs the defender away, and then from there he can get himself in a better position to cover from above, and he did just that. Again, NIP, similar story to Coastline. 2 opening picks, and then they lose the round. Very, very strange. I don't know if they have that man advantage and they think, oh, we can just kill them. No, just don't try and force your hand as much as you already have so far. Having those 2 opening picks is massive, and then they just start dropping like flies with very little refrag potential.
Got 2 opening picks, but they lost top floor control. And that was the crucial part there, is that they didn't maintain control of that top floor. Julio maybe getting a little bit too over-aggressive. You can see it there on Pino's face. He's not happy with the way that that round's gone. That's the face of a guy that knows we can't afford to be losing a 5 versus 3.
BDS will punish you. That is the kind of team that they are. If you give BDS an inch to recover, they will do so. You have to always keep on top of BDS and do not give them anything. What you take from them, do not give it back. Run away with it. I think that's probably the best advice I can give NIP, is if they have those 2 opening picks, just go. Just leave. Go back in sight, hold angles, set up crossfires, and BDS will not do anything. BDS are a good team, but there is nobody who can consistently win 1 versus 2 gunfights. You cannot do that.
Yeah, 5v3 should be not a rarity, but they shouldn't be as common as we've seen them be so far throughout this series for BDS. Oh, beautiful C4 from Psycho.
That's unfortunate.
It's just going to clip the frame of the window.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, Ollie, because you can literally just throw it right out and it'll actually land on the ground beside whoever's repelling. Very scary. And watch out for that, Ollie, whenever you're playing Siege. Watch yourself.
I'm not sure that we've got C4 throwers of that sort of ilk inside of my games demo, I'm afraid.
Again, same setup as well from NIP. They have that shielding towards pipes. I think BDS this time around, Ollie, they've realized that, and they're going to try and change it up. They're not going to try and force their way in through the triple wall. They're going to go for the room clear, which I think is a lot better of a decision.
Renshiro going to drone out Julio here. He's going to gather that information now. Does he know? Does he suspect the C4? Oh, Julio didn't have the required information. Alems takes down Muzi.
Hold on a minute.
Opening frag going in favor of BDS. It is responded to, as Alems will get himself taken down, but eventually Julio is shut down inside of Archives there, and a bit of a backside push can come through here. Shaiko takes loads of damage. You've got to get in. You've got to find the frag. He does. He shuts down Kamikaze. 3 versus 2 now as Pino, he's going to be flanking as well. So the flankers being flanked now, but Shaiko with the turnaround finds the frag over onto Pino. Bride doing what he does best, trying to confirm that plant. Psycho inside of the 1 versus 3. Very doable for him here, especially now that he's been able to pick up the first one. 1 versus 2 now. As he looks to push on through. Bride playing directly on the plant, but Psycho shuts him down, able to get himself on. Is he going to try and stick this? Where is Rafal? Why is Rafal not pushing? Psycho does come off momentarily. There's still a little bit of time to play with here, but you've got to be conscious of that 7-second timer. Rafal shuts him down. Psycho gets taken out there. Unfortunate stuff. I get the feeling if he sticks that disable, he probably gets away with it there.
So one thing that I don't know if you picked up on, Ollie, the IQ was using her scanner to see if he was defusing. You can see that. You can see the person with the gadget out, and he was scanning for it.
I understand that, and I appreciate it. The way that I see that going is the diffuser, disabling that diffuser, that bar was getting pretty full. And it genuinely looked as though, especially with the plant position, taking mine kind of behind the fridge, a little bit of an awkward angle, it's a direct right angle to challenge onto. I feel like Psycho probably gets away with that one.
It's a tough one, but Rafal needed to win that round, and BDS starting to pull away 2 rounds in front. They needed that. So BDS completely changes their entire dynamic of how they attacked the garage the last time. They went for a backside take. They got the opening pick. They knew there was one man cut off from his entire team inside of Archives. They targeted him. They hit him hard and fast. They got that kill. And from there, they thought, hey, let's just overwhelm them. We have the man advantage. And they did just that. A lack of players on site for NIP.
NIP move upstairs now. We've seen a very plant-focused game come out from BDS. There's been attempts in every single round so far. You know, you think back to round number 1, Bride was trying to get it down at the front of White Van. We've seen 2 successful rounds in the last 2, so 2 successful plants in the last 2 rounds. And the only site that we maybe didn't see a plant coming down on was the last time we were upstairs here, as the diffuser was cold on the ground. And it just came down to kills, which is something that fortunately for BDS, Shaiko can do.
If he feels like it.
How's he lost half of his health already, though?
Spawn peaks, because it's Consulate, of course the spawn peaks always come in. IQ pick, of course, there for the potential Valkyrie cameras, but I mean, still a nice kind of necessity to have for the yellow take. You can bring that IQ, find out how many ADSs are stacked up, and at the moment, they'll probably be looking at it and thinking, hey, there are none. We can just completely blitz this clash, and talking about blitz, the C4 comes out of nowhere and blitzkriegs Bride right in the face.
Pino's been using those cameras and he's been a nuisance on them. Rafal wasn't able to find that one out. A nade thrown as an impact will deal a good chunk of damage into Pino. Second nade coming on in and won't be so successful. It's a lot of utility to use there when you've got a clash, and the clash is now defending on yellow stairs.
Pocket Valcam as well, Ollie. Bit of a signature, and that immediately gets destroyed. Maybe why we don't see Pocket Valcams, because you can hear them being tossed out and landing on a surface. Oh, Psycho against an upside-down rappel and trying to find the head, and no, misses his shots, and Psycho will punish him. Oh, he almost had it there, Ollie. He should have had it.
It's a brave challenge to be going on, you know, challenging anybody on the upside-down rappel, but then challenging Ash, challenge Shaiko, it's usually going to end one way. Renshiro picks off Pino as well, so it gives an advantage for BDS for the time being. Shaiko's actually got himself on into sight and is looking to try and pressure clash a little bit. Muzi shuts Renshiro down as Renshiro was switching into the lifeline there, trying to aid and assist Shaiko in dealing with the clash. However, the clash will be alive for another day, but Shaiko will not, as Muzi takes him on down. The scrappy gunfights ensuing here. Alems left in the 1 versus 3 against a clash Clash, never a position you really want to be in. Clash able to zap and call out and give direct pings as to Alem's whereabouts, and he's probably not going to get close enough to the Clash to be able to do anything about this. Default camera still up as well, does manage to get some shots in and shut him down, but the covering fire is there. Trades galore here for NIP as they respond with another defensive round.
They were on him, weren't they? Straight away. Not giving him that clutch potential. As soon as that mag dump went into the Clash, they knew, hey, he's out of ammo. Let's spray and hope for the best. BDS having a really good start. Having that kind of lead as they were going in for their office plant. But one crucial factor, I think, changed the entire dynamic. It had to come from Muzi, I think. I think Muzi being able to have that swing onto Renshiro, this kill right here, was so important. The right moment, right time, everything working for them. Shaiko then loses his hype man from behind him. He has no cover in the window. Shaiko, really difficult position, pushing in, 50-50, could have went left, could have went right, into connector he went, got killed. It's a very difficult round for BDS. That's going to be a tough one for them to swallow.
It really will. BDS are going to make another adjustment here, as Rafal has been playing the IQ. He's been trying to find out these cameras, but consistently we have seen the cameras working for Psycho. Yep. He's able to circumvent this IQ in whatever way, and I think it's just because there's so much pressure elsewhere.
So difficult.
IQ hasn't got the time to just go around and look at every single palm tree or every single wall. There's a lot of them as well. There's a lot of palm trees here, there's a lot of bushes, there's a lot of places to hide these cameras.
Interesting stat, wouldn't it? Let's see, someone give us a stat, at me and Ollie on Twitter, how many trees are on Consulate? We would love to know for anyone out there. But, as you said, IQ being sacked off, we see a Ying. Ying, big, impactful operator, can completely change the outcome of a round. You throw those Candelas into a hotly contested area such as Garage, mayhem. Mayhem, Ollie.
It could be, and this is where we may see more of the rush strategy come out from BDS.
I think they'll go for it this time as well.
It's the last attacking round that they've got of this phase. We're kind of seeing it shape up right now. All we're missing is the Ying outside of that breach. It's going to get opened for the time being as plenty of drones go in to gather that information. Shaiko able to destroy a couple of pieces of utility as well.
Right from Shaiko,
namely
that's phenomenal.
Lucy Banshees, but Muzi, he's going to be in position to strike. But he wishes he was there a couple of seconds earlier, but he will in fact be droned out now and unable to challenge.
So BDS, they've cleared out most of the utility. The only thing that they haven't cleared out is Kamikaze. The way I think they're going to be able to deal with him is simply by throwing a Candela in his direction. Shaiko actually getting a little bit aggressive, pushing down yellow. Still a little bit cautious, though. There could be somebody else flanking. And Kamikaze has went for a challenge when Shiro has punished him. Kamikaze, you didn't need to leave your position. And now that may cost NIP. They're missing out on the smoke. They're missing out on the man at pipes. And right now for Team BDS, everything is going in their favor.
It was a power position to give away there. The Candelas are going to come in under the cover of smoke. Bride going to try and get that plan down as the covering fire is there. Shaiko finds one, but Julio responds. The diffuser is confirmed, and now BDS can retreat outside. 3 versus 3, but don't be deluded. That is a very difficult scoreline to come back against here. NIP now have to try and retake. Psycho going to make a full rotation upstairs. These are seconds that NIP may not have here. He's going to try and get some shots down, at least put some pressure onto the player, inevitably playing outside, trying to cover that plant. Bride takes down Pino. C4 will come in and grab her down, but Bride gets himself a second. Psycho, he has to go massive here. He's 1 versus 2, there's 10 seconds left. It's not going to be enough. Bride does it all in the post plant.
Wow, BDS executing onto that. As soon as they got that defuse down, the round was over. That retake is incredibly difficult for any defender. A lot of good things for BDS that round. Shaiko, being able to pick apart the different bits of utility was incredible. Just jiggle peeking in with the breaching rounds, clearing out the Banshees. This right here from Kamikaze, that is the moment that they lost the round. I don't know what he was thinking. Perhaps he got a call from another teammate saying, hey, let's double push this guy in yellow. Shaiko was extremely smart at baiting out the push. Everything, I think Shaiko made that round. But yeah, Kamikaze dying, that was it. He didn't need to move. He still had his shield intact, he had the toxic babes, and as soon as you lose that smoke at that time frame, in that position, you're done.
Very difficult for NIP to try and come back and retake that round. It puts a 4-2 split in the hands of BDS here. NIP need to come up with the goods here on their attacking phase. They can't afford to get themselves too far behind. This time though, Demo, Monty's available.
He is.
Could we see the Monty effect?
I don't think Monty is as strong as an operator on Consulate compared to what we've seen kind of develop in Coastline. A lot more window play, which kind of deters shield play. You know, if you're on a window as a Monty, you have your pistol and you don't have your shield, so it's not going to be much use to you. Of course, you still can get the odd bit of usage out of him in terms of pushing up yellow, for example. But I also think because there's so many C4s in Consulate as well, a lot more destructible flooring, it definitely sets the kind of fear of, hey, I could be killed at any moment from below.
We'll have to see if NIP feel it necessary to pull out the Monty, as they often do when they need rounds. Haven't had the best of defensive phases, and they need to try and make these attacking rounds count here. They're going to be attacking upstairs. When we saw NIP start, they started us off downstairs in the garage, but BDS, they're going for something a little bit different, a little bit fresh. They're going to take us upstairs to console, and it looks to be an admin-sided push that's shaping up here. Oh, but look at that for siege timing. So unfortunate for poor old Alems.
Yeah, Alems is thinking, why always me? Yeah, NIP looking for an admin take. They have the 0. That'll be a bit of like a soft replacement for Nomad. Of course, Nomad is extremely, extremely strong on a map like Consulate. BDS have banned that out. You're expecting to see a lot of flanks, a lot of jump outs from that side. 0 can kind of be used in the same fashion. Most of the time, we will see Nomads be used as flight protection. Equally, a camera can be used as well. So they're bringing that just in case. Also, of course, we know 0's a great operator for finding information inside the bomb site. You can fire them through a wall, and you'll be able to pick up as much info as you need.
And you get a little Twitch droney kind of feature
as
well.
You can eliminate an ADS here or there, whatever it is.
Very versatile. There is a lot of information here for Renshiro. He's got a couple of pings to be dealing with. Julio going in and able to ping out a lot of the information as well on the Z ping. Psycho going to be at the top of the stairs here, looking to just keep an angle onto Connector, waiting for somebody to push. At the minute, no one on the side of BDS is feeling much of a reason to, though. They don't need to be moving all too much in this regard. There's one Argus Cam just going out there to lock off anybody from running out of the main double door downstairs. Circle desk. Rafal opens things up with a kill over onto Muzi. Psycho does manage to get one back as a straight trade, keeping everything nice and even for the time being. I worry, Demo, about the lack of presence over on this west side. It's a very one-dimensional push here from NIP, and there's still vertical to worry about. Nobody has given any thought to Renshiro.
I think they need connector control as well, which is what they don't have, and you're allowing Shaiko just to quick peek you all day long. Kamikaze will now go in for the plan, and this is where BDS have to try and jump onto it. They will clear him out. A C4 lands from Renshiro. 2 massive kills, and now NIP up against it. Both of them towards the balcony, both jumping in and getting slaughtered as they do so. Pina will try his best. He eliminates Swan, but will not find Alems. BDS, as easy as you like, holding it down. That is your typical defense for the meeting.
It wasn't even that the attack came down to a lack of time there for NIP. There was just a lack of map presence. We saw nothing on Yellow Stairs.
Nobody was cleared out.
Nothing inside a connector. Nobody on West Rappel. It was very one-dimensional, and you can't afford to do that. The amount of crossfires there that BDS had set up, because guess what? They were allowed a player inside a bathroom. They were allowed a player inside a connector. They were allowed a player inside a long desk. Nothing.
You need that connector window under control. Not only does it shut down Shaiko in that position, but it also shuts down Bride in bathroom. He cannot push out. That window will cut off that angle. Connector is a very, very important position that you need to hold, and it is very difficult for defenders to try and hold. As we've seen, they set up appropriately in case there was any jump outs. They had the cameras downstairs. They were ready, expecting that. But yeah, I just don't know why there wasn't anyone in Connector.
A tough round there for NIP. A bitter pill to swallow, especially as that puts Team BDS on to 5 rounds. One away from a match and a series point here in our third and final map. The momentum has shifted once again, and everything looks to be going in BDS's favour. This time a small change on the side of NIP is that they've chosen to bring a Jackal. Maybe conscious of that vertical presence and Renshiro in the previous round, certainly a player that's worth highlighting here. 8-2 demo.
He is obviously we talk about, you know, the right hand of God. He's the left hand of God, of course, being notable for being one of the only left-handed players that we have. But Renshiro has always been just a standout player for EU as a region. This is a very long time serving member of French teams. You think back to his days at Millennium. He goes very, very far back inside of Siege. And I think for Renshiro, one thing he has never been able to accomplish is win a major tournament.
NIP just looking to gain and gather information on this top floor, as that's going to be their primary focus here. Muzi does get himself on in quite quickly into Connector. Julio, no doubt, will swiftly follow, maybe getting himself into console, as the Jackal is going to be required really to gain any information as to those footprints. I do believe there's a player inside of admin though, which could be a little bit of a problem. No, it actually has since rotated on down. Instead, Renshiro is going to be inside of meeting here. Goes for the C4 toss. Oh, you hate to see it when it just sticks to the top of the reinforcement. Muzi is going to be on the other side of this wall, takes the gunfight. It's a freebie for him as Renshiro gets caught looking the other way. Finds himself a second. The upstairs control has now been gained as BDS been quickly shut out of here.
Muzi playing angry, wants to get all the kills and give his team a foot up. But again, Ollie, even though NIP have 2 opening kills, I still am never at ease with them. A 3v5, that usually means BDS will win the round. I'm just never going to sit comfortably in a 3v5 that NIP have. Never.
I think you'd be right to do so, Demo, but that is going to increase to a 5 versus 2 now as Pino finds a great rotation kill there over onto Alems. It's going to be a tough ask here for Brede and Rafal as the 2 remaining players on site. In fact, Brede isn't even on site, sorry. He's at the bottom of yellow stairs in garage. Rafal has been droned inside of antechamber. NIP still moving very cautiously here, despite this huge advantage, despite all the map control they've been able to get. It's still taking them a good deal of time to execute onto these final 2 players, and I can only think that they're lacking information here. But Psycho, he knows where Rafal is, as he is able to pick up that kill as a nice little headshot. Julio going to be holding the rotation now as well. It's very unlikely for Brede to be able to make his way actually up and impact this at all. He is going to have a chance there at shutting down Kamikaze, but the Evil Eye is going to be destroyed. Pino takes him out there with the shoulder cover. A flawless round there for NIP. That is what we needed to see.
Yep, definitely. BDS not ready for that lob, and I think all of it came down to Muzi. Those first 2 opening picks are so important. And he got them, and from there, BDS just picked away.
That's one of the first times that we've seen them convincingly finish when they've got such a man-count advantage. When they go into that 5 versus 3, it's been dangerous. And I commented at the time at how slow they were moving, and in hindsight, I kind of like it, because no one was unnecessarily swinging and taking 1 versus 1 engagements. That's what we've seen them do previously, is getting themselves into those 1v1, no opportunity for a trade, bish bash bosh, all of a sudden, BDS pick up a couple, and we've gone from 5 versus 3 to like 3 versus 2.
Yeah, I think NIP on the attack have looked a lot more clean compared to their defense. Whenever they have that man advantage with the attacks, they look good. I think the main issue for NIP is if they don't have that opening pick, and then time's against them. Because as soon as they lose 1 person, NIP all of a sudden have to change their entire dynamic, and they take too long at thinking of a new way to attack without a player. That's the issue that NIP suffered on some of the rounds on Coastline and some of the rounds in Clubhouse.
Are we about to see the NIP resurgence here? BDS still threatening, still 5-3, 2 rounds up at the moment. Good chance for BDS to try and close out here as they're going to be defending Garage. Shaiko maybe looking to get aggressive. He did suffer a bit of damage early on to a spawn peak when he was on the attack, but it's going to be a very soft attempt there at a spawn peak, not wanting to lose his life too easily. Still giving something for NIP to worry about here, as they're going to have roamers to deal with.
Yep, roamers in the form of Brede inside of bathroom. That is usually a suicide hole. There will be 1 man inside of bathroom there to delay time and get kills, waste a bit of utility as well. Everything that gets thrown at him, he's ready to take it all. And I think against a team like NIP, where we've talked about this whole time management for them, that's a great idea to have. Of course, Shaiko lurking, always going to be a menace that you have to deal with. And even upstairs a little bit more aggressive is going to be Alems. He'll be the first man up to take these engagements to anyone pushing in towards that baguette area. And oh, almost finds the kill, but Alems actually lets him get past. And Pino now drops straight away into Piano.
Pino probably going to look to try and utilize his frag grenades here onto Brede, but Brede again just a really soft hold there. He's going to drop himself off quite quickly. Now, there are mute jammers there, so it's going to be difficult to draw that out. I say that. They are going to get destroyed now. Utility's still going to be deployed to get control of that bathroom area, but Alems is really the one to be worrying about here as he makes his way onto long desk. Muzi going to maybe catch him on the drone. I'm not sure if Muzi got a glimpse of him there. I don't think that he did. And Alems feels fairly confident that he wasn't droned in that situation. So while there is a flank drone there is going to be nobody actively watching it. Muzi going to instead choose to progress his way down yellow and look to remove some utility.
Great position to do so as well. Can eliminate a Banshee. The Kai charge as well is going to be located on that wall. Also, Kamikaze opens up that breach. And now NIP, they have their staging ground. This is where they can stem their attack. In towards Piano is where Pino will take up that sledge work, which is expected, of course. Being able to clear out in towards White Man is definitely something you need to think about. And they've managed to scare away Shaiko for the meantime. So, NIP, this is looking like your typical attack that you would expect to see every single time. Let's see if they can execute and pull off. Well, Shaiko gets caught out. His foot gets exposed, and Pino will punish him. 30 seconds to go. Kamikaze, gonna try and stick a plant.
Kamikaze looking to try and nail that diffuser down to the floor. Alems is still the unknown factor here as the plant does go down, but Muzi has a sixth sense. He's able to pull away from that yellow stairs hold and take down Alems. It's going to be very difficult here for BDS to try and retake onto this, especially if they all keep swinging Muzi like that as he finds himself a second, gets himself a down over on, Rafal gets the down over onto Pino as he tries to level things back up here, but 4 versus 2 with the plant down in front of White Van. It's going to be super difficult to try and retake this. Rafal, though, try as he might, does take down Julio. Psycho and Muzi come in with those final 2 frags. A big round again for NIP here. They're looking to level us up over on Consulate.
Fantastic attack. Everything by the book. There is nothing that I thought, that's what we don't see all too often. Everything was what we expect on that bomb site. They had the upstairs, they held it back, they had the piano control, they used the sledge, they opened up the breach, and whenever it came time to pushing in, everyone worked together. You had the angles above, you had the utility being dumped in, the diffuser being put down, and as we know, on that bomb site, if that diffuser goes down, the defense have no chance of doing a retake.
Kamikaze, is he going to lock that 6 pick on in? It looks as though he may. Just getting the end of the last round there. You can see how much it means to NIP that they're able to continually keep BDS from that match and series point here. So they've done a good job to level things back from a 5-3 at one time to now 5-2 maybe, Demo, to now a 5-4.
Yeah, 2 rounds in the bounce.
The momentum certainly with NIP here. The 6 pick that I mentioned a little bit earlier as well, Kamikaze had chosen Thermite. Instead, this time, he 6-picked out over onto the Capitao. I worry about this sometimes. When I see Latam teams picking the Capitao, I do worry a little bit because usually it means a little bit of speed's about to be injected into the round.
I think if we're dealing with FaZe Clan, then I would agree, but I don't think NIP would be the team to really pick the Capitao for a quick plant rush. I think this is more the case of to help them with the struggle that they had the last time, and that was very little map control. They did not put enough pressure onto these set positions that BDS have. You bring in that Capitao, of course, you're going to get the smoke bombs, which are going to be great for covering off as your diffuser goes in towards meeting, but also the fire arrows, which is the big thing. Whenever we're playing with a Wamai ban that has been banned away by BDS, it means that Capitao does not have a hard counter. The only hard counter that Capitao has is the person controlling it. If he misses the shot, well, that's it. That's on them. But if you have the fire arrows in a great position, you can basically incinerate Shaiko inside a connector and also catch out Brid's cross. We've seen Brid, he tries to cross in towards from bathroom. in towards long desk. You cut that off with a Sea of Flames. He's not getting through that.
Ooh, the upside down repel being challenged there by Rafal, but I'm not sure if he knows there's 2 players for NIP that are actually going to be out there. Muzi gets himself out of the Toxic Babe gas for now. Maybe just repositioning, but Rafal, no, he's instead going to actually drop on off. Look to maybe make a rotation up yellow. Ooh, opening up the floor as well. Maybe conscious that a plant could come through. Typically, you'd want someone with a C4 below, but he may have to do in this pinch. Julio going to find a kill over onto a Lems. Kamikaze in position now to start smoking off that connector, and I'm sure he's going to be yelling for the plant to come down very shortly. He does have the diffuser. There is an angle being held again from Bathroom. It's a common spot that we've seen BDS be able to keep control of, as NIP haven't pushed it when they've attacked onto this top floor. Renshiro below, this time no C4. Why have NIP used the smoke canisters and the asphyxiating bolts and the fire arrows without pushing off the back of it and capitalizing? I feel like there maybe was an opportunity to plant there, but the time once again ticking away as they were a little bit too hesitant on doing so. Instead, it's going to come down to gunfights as a really extreme push comes in from Muzi and Psycho, and they're able to find pretty much all of the frags. Renshiro now left in the 1 versus 5. Again, such a great man disadvantage. A big 1vx for a player on the side of BDS to be dealing with. Kamikaze just comes off the plant momentarily there, and Shiro could find himself a couple of kills here, but he's got information, but can't find the frags. Muzi, flawless round. NIP, they level things up. They take us to 5-5.
NIP have picked up so many flawless rounds throughout the course of this series. They have been extremely strong on their attacks. The thing with NIP, whenever they look bad on their attacks, they look really bad, but whenever they're good in the attacks, boy, are they good. And they are showing that tenfold. You question, why was the Capital Bolt fired in with nobody chasing up? I also thought that, but I seen that nobody was in the position. Kamikaze kind of shot too quick. They weren't ready. Whenever all of NIP were in a position, every single one of them walked in at the same time and completely suffocated everyone in that small area from BDS. It was a well-thought-out plan. It took them a lot of time, but again, they got that first pick. They did not give BDS that early control.
When you're a team that uses every second of your attacking rounds, you get quite good at it. And when you're putting yourself under that much pressure repeatedly and still coming out with a result, your opponents maybe aren't used to being put under that much pressure every single round, and it will start to wear them down. NIP, notorious for slow attacks, notorious for final 15, 10 seconds, whatever it might be. And BDS here seemingly feeling the pinch, you know, not happy, just sitting and waiting, getting caught out, getting caught in rotations. And as you say, the coordination from NIP when the push finally did come through, despite the fact that they'd already used all of their utility, they were still able to get on through and get the kills. And they knew they had to at that point.
NIP have pulled off 3 great attacks, and that has now gifted them an equal split. 5-5 is how the rounds have been distributed. Now let's see how NIP can fare on another attack. Can they make it 4 for 4? Looking at the defense from BDS, they will be going for their mid floor. Pressure in towards the top floor, which is no surprise. Operator choices, again, also no surprise. And Shaiko has went for a jump out. Yes, he has, and he's got away with it as well. Ooh. Never mind, never mind. Pino says, I'm having none of that. You are dead.
That's not often you see a player get back inside and then get taken out by a window right next to it. Pino there avenging his teammate, shutting Shaiko down, and with it, the Goo Mines and Legion. Muzi now going to be able to play himself on the repel. Julio looking to try and root out the player that is going to be playing upstairs. He has the angle. Well, he doesn't quite have the angle. It looks as though he does.
Would have happened if he was crouched, though.
With our X-ray view, but he's got the drone and he knows that there's going to be a player up there and probably going to work in conjunction with Muzi to try and do something about that. Pino now joining in as well with a beautifully cut grenade. I think it actually may have fallen down the hatch.
Did it maybe go through the holes that was made through the crate? So maybe Julio opening up that angle has maybe costed them a kill. Wow. Would not expect that to happen, but still, Ride is alive. But it has moved him. It's moved him out of that office. Now that gives control to NIP. There is still one more player above that they have to deal with, which I believe will be Renshiro on the mute. Has the SMG in hand. Let's see if he can hit any long-range engagements. Maybe shouldn't have shot that drone. Maybe it could have been a missed drone there for NIP, but still gives himself away. So BDS have very loose control off the top floor, if any control off the top floor. Even Alem's coming back. Maybe a retake of the top floor. This should be interesting to see BDS pull this one off.
Muzi looks like he's going to be aware, and he is. He's going to find one over onto Alem's. A beautiful flick onto the top of Spiral Stairs. He's now going to free everything up, and Rafal knows he has to push it back down to site along with Renshiro and just defend what they have got left. Muzi pushing himself down these Spiral Stairs now. Renshiro just looking to open up a rotation, but he's going to pay for it with his life as Muzi finds himself a double kamikaze comes in. It's not quite going to be a flawless round, but it's nearly as good as. Rafal has information, going to go for a swing, finds one, can't find the second. Julio comes in, NIP, match and series point.
Wow, NIP, Muzi especially. Ollie, I think before we got into the attack, he had 1 kill. Now he's on 12. 11 kills. In, what's that, 4 rounds? Wow, and important kills at that. The shots he has been hitting, there's a reason whenever me and you talked about NIP before this entire tournament happened, there's a reason why I rate Muzi and Pino so highly, is because they can perform moments like that. Moments that are game-defining. We look back and we will look at the scoreboard and we'll say, yeah, Muzi that game, out of his mind.
That shot onto Alem's at the top of Spiral Stairs, just beautiful flicks, players that are absolutely on the top of their game. And it's not just as much as the killers, then what they're able to do after it, right? You know, they get that control. It just puts such a difficult position in the hands of BDS. NIP on the match point now, they have all the momentum. It's been a game and a series that has ebbed and flowed as to who has had the upper hand. BDS have had flurries inside of this match on Consulate, but they've not looked really in control since Coastline. And now I think they're going to be clutching at straws here.
Brazilian side, you cannot give momentum to. You cannot give the Brazilian teams anything to have passion off. Listening to both of these teams on the stage, if I'm determined who's been the loudest and who's been the most vocal, it has been NIP by a mile. The only person I've really heard from BDS has been Alems. Everyone in NIP is fired up.
And we can see that in the player cams as well, you know, when at the end of the round, they're screaming, they're really happy that they've been able to bring it back to this point. It's do or die for BDS. This is the round that stands between them and the lower bracket. They've made some adjustments, they've made some changes. Alems is going to be playing Valkyrie, looking to maybe replicate some of Psycho's success on that operator whenever NIP were on the defense. Going to be able to gather a lot of information here. It isn't something that's been brought, but we just heard that camera actually get taken out there. No IQ on the side of NIP, but doesn't seem like they require one at the moment.
So BDS have a heavy roam game. Trying to see if they can weasel a kill or two, and NIP are happy enough to just sit back and find out the information first of all, and they will do so. Alems has been spotted out, and oh, Julio, that was close. Could have almost pulled the trigger, but probably couldn't have secured the kill. Alems fights once more. Let's see if he can try and show up. Hasn't been the greatest game, someone who me and you have praised quite heavily throughout his tournament so far, but Consulate not really working for him.
There has been a rehost. The stats are a little bit skewed, but Lems hasn't had the same impact here as we saw him have on, you know, Coastline, let's say, or maybe even Clubhouse. So more to be found here from BDS. Slowly but surely, NIP gain more and more control. Muzi going to be pushing down yellow stairs now. It seems as though he's got some sort of information. Psycho going to hop on into piano to try and burn out the player that's playing inside of bathroom. Is it something that NIP like to do, even though there's going to be nobody actually playing on in there? They still like to use the Hibana pellets onto that wall to gain a better angle through the hatch.
So, NIP, you have what you want, which is that upstairs control, and now for BDS, how are they going to try and withstand this? One thing that I think has been different is it's still an even man count. It's still 5 versus 5, so BDS haven't really gave NIP anything to go off. And oh, Shaiko, what a push. Knows that the Ashe is going to try and target the Banshees, and whenever that gets fired out, Ashe is going to be in a state where she cannot pull out the weapon, and Shaiko has the punishment ready. A great opening pick for BDS, and that could be detrimental to NIP.
It's going to be the lack of a gun and the lack of ability to destroy any more of those Banshees. Shaiko now has retreated to Pipe's area. He's going to try and hold on through the hatch. He's got a chance at a bit of an engagement here as shots are exchanged. But no, instead going to swing over onto Psycho. E1D going to come out, but it's going to be a bit too little too late as the advantage is firmly with BDS. Now, Pino goes for a desperate drop, but that's all it will ever be. Shaiko is on a triple kill. He's stepping up here when his team need it. BDS going to be playing tight to the breach. Probably going to find himself one here. Kamikaze gets one as a trade. Alems picks up two. The Shaiko and the Alems show. It keeps NIP off a match point, and it takes us to an overtime.
Shaiko backed into a corner, and he keeps on fighting back. BDS take us to overtime. This is the first overtime as well we had. We didn't see it in Coastline, didn't see it in Clubhouse, even though it might have felt like it, Ollie, but overtime definitely here in Consulate.
I'm not sure where we're at with timeouts for teams. I don't believe that either team has taken one just as of yet, so I would expect them to be using that pretty soon. Get a bit of a flash of the scoreboard as well, as we can see that it's going to be Muzi leading the charge here, but that round was all about Shaiko.
It was, yeah.
We've asked for him to step up in previous fixtures, in previous games, hell, even inside of this game, and he did just exactly that. 3 kills from Yellow Stairs, pretty much unchallenged right up until the bitter end, and Alems just doing what's necessary. It doesn't always take flashy plays in Siege. Sometimes playing at a right angle to a breach can be enough.
Yep, flashy plays, these young guns, it's not everything. You know, I look back to a team like G2, whenever, you know, not this G2, but the old G2 lineup. You look at those players, were there ever any flashy kills that, you know, really set them apart? Was it their gun skill? No. It was how they played as a team. It was how their strategies were set up. They didn't have the best gun skill in the league, but they had the best teamwork, and that's what set them apart to every other team in that time.
We had like the hybrid of it in that round, didn't we? We had Shaiko like flashy on Yellow Stairs, and then Alems just like playing to the right angle of a breach and being like,
corner,
you can't challenge me. Like, it's a hard right angle and you've got an entire site in front of you. There's no way you are coming in pre-firing right.
So NIP get the attacking half, and so far in Consulate it has been attacker favored. Will this help them? Definitely, but they need to win this round. They need to win this round, because if BDS goes 7-6 and then they get an attack, ooh, scary times for NIP. So, BDS on that basement once more. This roam game, again, set up, which is really no surprise to me whatsoever. NIP very quickly into that Yellow Stairs to establish their upstairs control. This is where everything kind of stems from them. NIP haven't been very dominant in terms of taking the entire map. They kind of take half of it. It's as if they've cut the entire map in half. They take that. You can have the other BDS. We don't need that.
It's probably the best time for NIP to be attacking this site because they've just seen it, you know, so they can make that quick adjustment and adaptation as to what's required. Now, obviously, they weren't to know that this is where BDS are going to go, but you can guess that it is going to be. Now, the floor is going to get opened, and Alems will escape. There was information on him there, but Manchiro has got a C4 prepped from below. He's looking to get it through the door into Piano, leading through into Soda. Those vertical C4s, you don't always have to just throw them on the floor. You can throw them through the floor if you are able to get it so that it doesn't stick onto anything along the way. Alems seeing some pressure here on Circle Desk because he's going to lose a little bit of his health. Pino above, maybe looking to try and capitalize, but just can't get the angle. Instead, it's going to be Shaiko, as he was unchallenged inside of admin. He's able to take down Muzi, who's been a big fragger on the side of NIP.
C4 as well, pre-placed on the wall. Don't know if that is potential rotate. I assume so. But Shaiko still finds that opening pick. And one thing that we've talked about NIP is if they do not have the opening pick on the attack, they look like a much weakened version of themselves. And losing Muzi, who has been that big, massive attacker for them, yeah, Muzi out of the picture early on, it's going to spell doom for NIP this round.
We can see that BDS have managed to make a full rotation back down into the site of Alems and Shaiko. They've wasted enough of the round now. There's only 35 seconds left. It's time to take up those powerful positions. Brede has made his way over into Bathroom. Not sure quite how he's managed this. He's going to get a chance at one, but is beaten to the punch by Shaiko. Will instead take a kill over onto Psycho. There's 2 kills going in favor of BDS before anything is responded to. Really isn't the position that NIP want to be in now with 15 seconds to go. Julio laid prone. He has the breach to go off, but is really unable to find anybody. Nobody on the side of BDS wanting to peek this. They want to guarantee this first round of overtime here. Toxic Babe canisters come out, and that's all we need. The curtain has been drawn on this round, and BDS are going to take it. They take the lead here in OT.
Massive round, an attacker-sided Consulate at the moment, and they have broken NIP on their 2 attacks. Now BDS, they get the attacking side. NIP up against it.
Yeah, NIP need to find something here because they've attacked Garage downstairs now twice, 2 consecutive rounds, struggled both times. We're seeing some changes come in the lineup here. Whether they will be stuck or not throughout the 6th pick, we will have to see. But for the time being, we have replays of the last round to be going off, and we can see just how dominant Shaiko was once again from that yellow stairs area. He got shut down a little bit sooner than he did last time, but still BDS able to hold fast there, waste a ton of time on the roam. We've said it multiple times, if you want to win rounds here against NIP and they're attacking, just get a couple of people out on the roam and get back to site safe.
The first pick. That's it. You get that first kill, NIP just stop in their tracks. It's if NIP have the first pick, then they are extremely deadly. Right, 7-6. Here we go. Still, match point. BDS for the series need 1 clean attack, and that will be it. NIP need to pull it back. They need to have a defense. It needs to be a strong one. Let's see how it pans out. Ollie. Let's see.
Doesn't even have to be a clean attack, it just has to be a round win. It can be as messy as they like, but they just need to try and get it over the line here. We've seen this site defended a couple of times so far from NIP, and for the most part, they've seen good success here. Part of that success has been down to Pino. We've got to be honest, these Valkyrie cameras have been very strong indeed. Opting not for a palm tree this time, doesn't want to go too predictable, just going to throw it out and let it land on the ground. But he's been able to gather so much intel and regularly comes out with either a bit of aggression early, jumping out of a window and just using the MPX, or tossing a C4 out of a window and being able to gain a frag that way. Either way, NIP have always got a good idea of 2 things. 1, where the push is coming from, and B, where that opening pick should be coming from, because they usually get it here on the defense.
So NIP, again, not much control on yellow. Severe lack of control. Perhaps because they're not bringing the Jaeger, they're a little bit scared, which I think I would be as well if I was in that position without any real coverage of ADSs to catch the grenades that I'm sure would probably fire in. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to stay away from that. Have this clash again. Kamikaze, I don't think has seen great things from the clash. I think there was that 1 round where he was able to back off and then get that kill inside a connect, which was pretty important, but whenever we see BDS see a clash, they immediately target that with everything they've got. They rotate the Sophia around, Renshiro, again, that kind of hype man for Shaiko on this bomb site attack, and just try and pick off that clash early on.
Ooh, a gifted opportunity for Psycho as he takes down Rafal. Shaiko will fall as well as Muzi joins on in. And the player on Yellow Stairs Repel decides to dip out. Renshiro looking for a refrag but doesn't want to overcommit to it. The angle held by Psycho was a little bit unpredictable there. No information for Rafal in that instance. Now, that's the real power of the Mute Mozzie combination here. You can look at how many drones BDS have got left. They've got 1 drone in pocket left.
Lambs pushing his way up towards yellow. Let's see if he can make it happen again. That yellow control is very loose, but here comes the clash, and Kamikaze is there to greet him. He gets eliminated at Julio with a shotgun inside of office. He's been allowed to wander about the bomb site, and it has costed him Psycho as well. A 1 versus 5, no chance for BDS. NIP push it all the way. Another flawless round for NIP. How many times have we said that?
Who needs a Jaeger or a Wamai to hold Yellow Stairs? That is the biggest takeaway from that round that I can muster, because there is no way on earth that NIP should be allowed to hold Yellow Stairs in that fashion without a single ADS or a single magnet, not even a laser gate. There was nothing stopping throwables coming in there. BDS have missed out enormously on that. They've lost every single gunfight. And guess what? Those gunfights where you've got the high ground, they're the ones you shouldn't be losing. They're the easy gunfights. All you should be able to see is the guy's head. They have got to go through your entire body. You know, it's difficult to get headshots onto those gunfights. unforgivable stuff from BDS. They've played exactly into the hands of NIP there, and NIP have just gone, yep, no worries, we will hold yellow stairs, no Jaeger, no problem.
Both teams breaking each other on the attacks, which is a little bit surprising for an attacker-sided Consulate to see then 2 attacks be lost. Yeah, did not expect to see this. Now we have NIP on the attack, BDS on the defense. Keep in mind, Ollie, as well, that this is going to have to be an upstairs as well. It's not going to be the base. It's going to be locked out. BDS have to go for this. The last time we seen NIP up here, they sweeped them. They walked in, they kicked them, they kicked the chair right underneath them, and that was the round.
A couple of things are different. They did have the Capitale last round. This time, NIP haven't brought the Capitale instead. They've doubled down on the grenades. Julio's gone for Iana. Another main difference, and something that BDS have done as maybe a little bit of a response and an adaptation, is they brought the mirror, and we saw the mirror window played inside of admin there, looking to try and keep control of admin. That's going to be a Lems. Inside of this little box area, he's able to keep a good idea of what's coming in from that side. Yeah. NIP need to make a decision now, and it's all down to the info that they've gathered in the first part of the round. Have they got sufficient utility to push on through that mirror window, or instead are they just going to try and take yellow stairs? With the way they're framing up, Demo, I'd say the latter.
Yeah, definitely yellow stairs side from NIP. One interesting thing as well to actually take note of BDS and their setup, they fully reinforce bathroom walls, so they don't actually give anyone any kind of control. Look at, oh my word. A mirror window downstairs in bathroom to cover the bottom of yellow stairs. Wow.
I've seen this mirror a few times, and it still baffles me. I still enjoy seeing it. I still like to know what teams are going to do with it. I've not seen it used to its full potential, I don't believe. Now, maybe we're going to see it come to fruition inside of this round. C4's always an option as well, but Alems is looking to commit down here. He's looking to play inside of Piano. Not sure if anybody knows he is there as of yet. Newsy seems to have an inkling as he's going to get shot at least through the floor. Doesn't deal all too much damage to him. Psycho conscious of the run out there as well. It's a tentative start, but Psycho going to open things up. Finds a kill over onto Rafal. The smoke gone is going to make planting that diffuser a heck of a lot easier.
That is the kill that NIP need. That first opening pick. Whenever we see them get the opening pick on attack, they do not lose the rounds. Could this be different though? Shaiko challenging on towards connector window. Julio reloads the weapon, perhaps another peek. Pino finds Shaiko, and all of a sudden BDS are crumbling at the seams. Renshiro tries his hand at a run out. He gets eliminated. Alems as well. He's all by himself, a 1 versus 3. He's downstairs, fighting back as much as he can, but no! NIP Psycho finishes him off. What a hard-fought victory for NIP. Besting BDS, the clear favorites in this matchup. Brazil stands tall against France.
You can probably hear them in the background there. The guys are going mental. Very